So let's begin by bringing our hands together in Anjali Mudra. Connect the thumbs to the sternum and make that heart center connection. And I invite you to bow your head in honor of your own inner light and wisdom. Namaste. The light within me honors the light within you. Now unfold the hands. Connect with the Om Mudra, lightly touching the tips of the fingers, index finger and thumbs. And ground into the sitting bones. Root into your pillow, or if you have a block at home, or just right down into your mat or the floor. And now lift up from the pelvic floor. Begin to engage your lower abdominal muscles. Draw the navel in and imagine a puppet string lengthening you from the crown of the head. So reach up from the crown of the head. Create that oppositional stretch with the spine so that you're rooting to rise. And we're creating that oppositional stretch to be the connection between the earth and the sky. Now let's bring our right ear down to our right shoulder. And just lengthen along the left side of the neck, naturally allowing yourself to just release with gravity. Unlock your jaw, relax the facial muscles, soften through the eyebrows. And breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep cleansing breaths in. And exhale, let the breath fall out of the mouth. Now begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Get comfortable with that nostril breathing. And as you lift the tongue to the roof of the mouth, keeping the lips closed, continue to breathe in through nose and out through nose, and create a little sigh at the back of the throat. It sounds like the ocean. So breathe in, exhale from the nose, and just imagine that ocean sound moving down the left side of the neck into the shoulder, just washing away any tension. Be here for 2 more ocean breaths. Now create a pillow with your right fist underneath the right cheekbone to elevate and lift the head back up to center. Breathe another deep breath in through the nose and let the breath fall out of the mouth. Reach up long and tall from the crown of the head as you exhale. Another breath in. Now inhale and exhale, left ear down to left shoulder. Soften through the muscles along the right side of the neck. Breathe in through the nose and out from the mouth. Then continue with nostril breathing. Creating the Ujjayi breath. Creating that ocean sound from the back of the throat, a sigh within that you hold from the back of the throat, keeping the lips closed, and then guide that breath down the throat, along the right side of the neck into the right shoulder. Wash away any tension. And now create that pillow with left fist under cheek and lift the head back up to center. Placing palms facing down now onto your thighs and into your knees. Let's create a full circle with the head. And as you lift your chin, breathe in and exhale as it descends down. I encourage that ocean Ujjayi breath again. Nostril breathing in through the nose, lips closed, create that sigh from the back of the throat, and allow it to resonate from the throat down into the muscles of the neck. And imagine creating space between the vertebrae of the cervical spine as you just release and let the head flow in the motion of creating that circle. Pause for a moment as you recenter and then reverse the circle. Again, inhale as you lift chin, exhale as it descends down. Wash away any tension, stress. Begin to let it go and release it. Release it each time that you exhale. And then recenter. Return the chin to a nice neutral position parallel to the floor. And with our hands back down onto our laps, let's round out through the upper back. Gaze downward at the lap. Stretch the fingers to wrap around the knees and release into the shoulders, all while you're continuing to lift up from pelvic floor, engaging the root lock. The lifting of the pelvic floor engages those lower abdominal muscles. And draw the navel in. Breathe a deep breath in, fill the back of the lungs from bottom up to top. And as you exhale and hold on to the knees, release into the shoulders. Keep lifting from pelvic floor and drawing navel in. Stretch out those shoulders. And now from here, begin to lift up through the chest and chin. Come into your cat lift, softening through the throat. Opening up the throat chakra as you lift your heart. Neutralize the chin and then round out again. Exhale into your cat tuck. Breathe into cat lift. Exhale, cat tuck. Then neutralize and bring the chin back to a parallel position and flip the palms up, reconnect with the Om Mudra. Lift the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Breathe in as you lift, exhale as they descend down. You can even release the hands down by the sides, giving you a little more freedom to lift those shoulders up and back and down. And if there's any worries, stress, or burdens that you've been carrying on your shoulders, time to release and let them go. Inhale, exhale, let go. Imagine that stress just melting down the back body and surrender and release it. Then we'll reverse circles, coming up and forward. Try keeping that chin parallel and neutral to the floor. Still reaching up tall from the crown of the head, engaging the lower abdominal muscles so that you can root into those sitting bones. Ground yourself, root to rise, defining your place in this moment as you let go of those worries and burdens that you've carried for too long on your shoulders. And with the next breath in, inhale, elevate the arms, keeping those shoulders down away from the ears. Lift the gaze, gently lift from the chest. Open up the heart and then exhale, arms back down and neutralize chin. Again, breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breathe it in. And exhale, let it go. Return your hands together back to Anjali Mudra, making that heart center connection. And I invite you again to bow your heads in honor of your own inner light and wisdom. Namaste. Stand in mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart, palms facing forward, fingers widen, and reach down those fingertips to release any stress from the shoulders and descend the shoulders down away from the ears. Now bring your attention to your feet. Begin to press gently into big toe, pinky, the base of the heel, and balance between the inner and outer heel. As you lift the arches of the feet, imagine sending roots down into the earth about a mile, defining your place here in this moment, grounding. Now lift up through the kneecaps. Begin to activate your quadriceps and draw the inner thighs toward each other. Lift from pelvic floor, hold the navel in. Draw shoulder blades toward each other And imagine again that puppet string lengthening from the crown of the head. Create that oppositional stretch with your spine. Root to rise as you inhale and elevate the arms up and over the head. Bring your hands together to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Breathe in, lift those arms, separate the hands. With shoulders relaxed down away from the ears, lift up through the chest, back bend, heart opens and swan dive forward. Rise up halfway, forward fold. Reverse and rise. Return your hands to your heart. Again, breathe in, separate the hands. Lift through the chest, arch back, hearts open, swan dive. Rise up halfway, forward fold. Reverse and rise. One more time, breathe in, lift the arms, separate the hands. Lift through the chest, back bend, hearts open, swan dive. Stretch out the back of the thighs and the lower back. Rise up halfway. Forward fold again. Reverse and rise. Return your hands back together at your heart. And now place hands onto the lower back, the sacral area. And begin to widen the legs. We'll turn the right foot 90 degrees and turn out that back heel. Lifting up from the arches of the feet, the knees, pelvic floor, tummy's held in. Elevate the arms up to shoulder height. Be mindful not to stress out the shoulders at all. So a little trick is to lift the palms and relax the shoulders down. Then rotate from the wrist. Begin to crease into your right hip as you reach that right arm over. Lower the hand down to wherever it naturally will stretch onto that right leg. Place left hand to the lower back. Try spiraling the shoulder back so it stacks with the right. And then lift that top arm up. Create that beautiful axis with your arms. A nice vertical axis. And maybe gaze up at the thumb to challenge yourself. Stretching out with the neck, firm through the core. If you're struggling with balance, go ahead and look down at your big right toe as your focal point. Breathe in and breathe out. Now with your core strength, lift the body up out of your triangle. Bend into the right knee. Line it up with the right ankle and maybe heel toe that back foot to widen your stance a bit. Keeping the hips off to the side, lift the arms back up and now gaze toward the right. Breathe in confidence, exhale perseverance. Warrior two, grounding, strengthening, breathing in confidence and exhaling perseverance. Lift the arms and lengthen that right leg, and then turn the feet so toes face forward back into a parallel position, lowering arms back down. Have the palms facing out and widen through those fingers. Reach the arms to opposite ends of the walls. Feel that stretch through the chest. Now turn left foot 90 degrees. And then right foot about 45. Again, lift through the arches, root into those points of the feet. Lift the knees, pelvic floor, navel's held in. Shift and crease into that left hip as you lower left arm and lift the right arm up. Create your vertical axis. Firm through that core, helping you hold the triangle posture from the strength of your core, staying balanced. Gazing up at that right thumb, looking up toward the sky, opening the heart, or focusing on the big left toe as your anchor to ground yourself, balance. Then from here, reach up with that right arm using your core strength, bend into your left knee, line it up with that left ankle, and gaze toward the left. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften the gaze. Have the lids a little heavy, but enough to let light in. And look beyond that middle finger and breathe in, breathe out. Connected with those points of the feet. The rootingness into the earth. Let that energy rise up from the earth and begin to gently hug the muscles of the legs toward the bones, stabilizing, standing strongly. And then we'll elevate the arms and lengthen that left leg. Turn the feet again back to a parallel position. Lower arms back down. And then we'll bend into our elbows. Turn toes toward the corners and then bend into the knees. Beautiful breaths in and out here. Setting those sitting bones down toward the earth. Still lifting from pelvic floor, firm through the tummy. Opening up through the chest. Beautiful breathing in and out. And then we'll lengthen and rise. Take it back down into your goddess pose for the ladies. Victory pose for the gents. Widen and rise. 5-pointed star. Then again back to goddess pose. Lift and lengthen. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out and pause. And then we'll rise back into our 5-pointed star. Lower arms down, a little bend in the knees, micro bend to jump back up into mountain pose. Lift your arms and breathe into the lungs, filling from bottom to top. Back bend, hearts open, swan dive. Stretch out the back of the thighs, the lower back. And make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Reach for a wrist, forearms or elbows, and allow yourself to just ragdoll forward fold. Welcoming a nice micro bend into the knees and then lengthening, lifting from pelvic floor, holding tummy in. Bend again into the knees and lengthen. And then begin to bend into one knee at a time, just shifting and stretching out hips a bit here. Then we'll re-bend into knees, widen the arms, rise back up into your Urdhva Hastasana, and then lift through the chest, hearts open, swan dive. From here, rise up halfway, forward fold, lift, and now take it into chair pose. So bending from the knees, angling the spine, crown of the head down to the tailbone is a nice diagonal line as you send those sitting bones down. Bear the weight in the heels, but root into big toe and pinky. Breathe in, breathe out, defying gravity, strengthening the legs, the core, and the lower back. Now bend into elbows, press those arms back, swoop it up. Fist of fire, bring it in, press it back. Inhale. Rising back up, return your hands together to your hearts. Recenter, connect with your hearts. From your seated position, make your way into table pose. Hands will go underneath the shoulders, knees hip distance apart, directly under the hips. Firm up through your tummy. Draw that belly button in toward the inner spine. Continue to lift from pelvic floor. It naturally curls the tailbone under, protecting the lower sacral area. And lengthen the neck as it is an extension of the rest of the spine. And we'll go between our cat and cow postures. So making your way into cow, bend lightly into the elbows, soften the belly, gaze forward. Stretching out the throat, opening up through the heart as you continue to stretch the front of the body. Now lengthen arms and begin to round out through the upper back, releasing the head and neck. Sitting bones reaching downward. Breathe again through your table. Bend into elbows. Lift the chest, the chin, and then exhale into cat. Rounding from the upper back, lengthening arms, releasing head and neck. Breathe again through your table into cow. Exhale, cat. Continue between your cow and your cat, and imagine creating space between the vertebrae as you transition through your table. Soften belly into cow. Lengthen back body, round it up into cat. Create that space between the vertebrae of the spine as you continue to transition between your cow and your cat. Warming it up. Now, return to table position. Again, firm through the core. Root locks engaged. Lift from that pelvic floor. Engage the lower abdominal muscles. Lengthen the neck. And we'll make our way into a modified version of puppy. Walk the hands forward. Lower the head down. Keep the tummy in firm and lengthen that back body, reaching the sitting bones toward the back wall. Make sure you're aligning your ears parallel with the bicep muscles. And gently begin to stretch out the whole spine in your modified version, puppy version. And it helps to create space between the vertebrae as you lengthen along the lungs. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, if you're ready to take it into a full downward dog, begin to lift the chest up, lengthen the neck, tuck the toes under, and lift the hips up as you lengthen the legs. Firm through the core to lift the weight out of the shoulders. And now press into the finger pads as you cup the palms of the hands. Press gently into the webbed area between the index finger and thumb and along the outside of the pinky part of the hand. Let's begin to bend into one knee at a time, alternating it, calling awareness into the back of the legs, stretching out calves and hamstrings as you massage your feet. Continue to breathe in and out, then rise up onto toes, lower the heels down toward the earth, and begin to press the back thighs toward the back wall as you hold that tummy in and lengthen the full back, reaching sitting bones to the highest point up toward the sky. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Now descend the knees and return to your extended child pose this time. Lengthening arms, full back body, perhaps making that connection of the forehead to the mat, or if you need a pillow, you can place a pillow under there. And let's stretch out the wrist, rise up onto fingertips. Lower those hands back down. Now, rotate so the palms face forward. Get that beautiful external rotation of the shoulders outward. Now from just the wrist, place the palms back down. Re-cup into those palms and press into those finger pads. And now imagine a marble at the tip of the nose. And we'll move into chaturanga as you push that marble with your nose. Bring the chin, chest, and the hips down toward the floor. Place the elbows under the shoulders. Still lifting from pelvic floor, holding that tummy in firm. Begin to lift the upper body, elbows under shoulders. Lift the chest, perhaps bring the gaze forward. And then, while keeping the chin in a neutral position, shift the gaze of the eyeballs upward. Keep lifting up through the heart. Sphinx pose, heart opening. Exhale, slowly lower down. And now slide the hands under the shoulders. Draw the shoulders toward the back pockets. Using your upper back strength, hold your baby cobra. Lift those hands. Keep that neck long. Then place hands back to the floor and begin to rise up, maybe just midway. Exhale, slowly lower down. Then reach from crown of head, lengthen that neck, rise again with upper back muscles. Press into hands, rising up midway, and then perhaps all the way into full cobra. Bend into elbows, slowly lower down. Engage the upper back muscles as you go to your baby cobra, and then lower all the way to the earth. From here, as you feel the connection of the knees lightly touch the floor, press the body up to a half plank. Create that diagonal line from the crown of the head down the spine. And then make your way back into your table position. Take it into your puppy version. Or bring it up with hands one hand length ahead of the shoulders. Tuck the toes and send the hips up, downward dog. You're welcome to walk out the downward dog, bending into one knee at a time, alternating, massaging those feet, stretching out the back of the legs. Eventually descend the heels down toward the earth, wherever that is for you. Not all are able to make that heel connect with the earth, so just honor where your body is. And breathe into the lungs. Feel the back body widen. The ribs begin to part as you fill those lungs from bottom up to top. Then exhale, reaching up from the sitting bones, holding the tummy in firm, lengthening the back body. Beautiful breaths in and out. Now step the legs back, taking it into a plank pose, full plank pose. You're always welcome to descend those knees to modify it into a half plank. Breathe in and out, firming up through the muscles of the legs. Hug those muscles of the legs toward the bones. Gently flex the glutes, hold the tummy in firm. Feel that wideness through the shoulders and keep the neck long as it is a continuation, extension of the rest of the spine. Breathe in, breathe out. And then send hips back up to downward dog. Lower the heels. Firm through the belly. Lengthen back body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press those back thighs toward back wall. Now begin to walk the hands toward the body. As your hands get closer toward the feet, micro bend into knees and settle the heels to root them into the earth. Hands to wrists, forearms, or elbows, and then lengthen the legs. As you're lifting arches and knees, draw the inner thighs toward each other. Breathe in, breathe out. Release the hands and begin to rise up halfway. Firm through the tummy, neck is long. Forward fold. Rise all the way up to standing and bring your arms up while keeping shoulders down. Return your hands together to your heart center. Beautiful. Now, place hands down by the sides and mindfully walk to the top of your mat. And once you arrive there, re-ground into mountain pose, and let's send that right leg back as you bend into the left knee, lining left knee parallel to the ankle. Hips are facing forward. Imagine a little weight dangling from the tailbone, but lift from pelvic floor, hold that navel in. Lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Lengthen through that back right leg, and then bring the arms into 90-degree angles. Keeping those shoulders relaxed down, send the energy up the arms as you lengthen. Rooting into the points of the feet, big toe, pinky, the base of the heel. Lifting arches, muscles in the legs, hugging the bones. Lift your chest to begin to gaze upward. Warrior one. Meeting life exactly where it is with your heart open, standing strongly. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Then return the hands together to the heart and step the right leg up to meet the left. Lift those arms, separate the hands, back bend, swan dive, forward fold. Rise up halfway, forward fold again. Reverse and rise. Bring your hands back together to your heart. Place them to the hips and now step left foot back. Angling left foot, hips face forward, bend into right knee. Lift the arms. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed. Imagine that puppet string lengthening you from the crown of the head, and then remember that imaginary weight dangling from the tailbone. Contract all of the abdominal muscles. Lift from pelvic floor, hold navel in. Intercostal muscles between the ribs give you a nice hug through the torso and reach up tall and long. Breathe into your heart and exhale, knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment with an open heart, grounded, rooting to rise. Return your hands together to the heart and step left leg back up to meet right. Lift the arms, separate the hands, back bend, hearts open, swan dive. Rise halfway, forward fold. Reverse and rise, and return to heart center, Anjali Mudra.